Good afternoon. Welcome to Talk with Tony. So I'm so happy to have you all join us today, or to watch this clip later on. But today we're going to have a topic about, a lot of times we get questions. People know that we do domestic violence services for victims and sexual assault services for victims. But many times people don't understand that under our umbrella, very comprehensive services is also our Battery Intervention Prevention Program, commonly known as Bipp. You may even see us advertise it as Bipp because we're real creative like that. So it's Violence Intervention Prevention Program. So today joining me is Kara. Kara is a full-time counselor in our Bipp program. So Kara, talk to us and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay, so I've been with the agency since August 2014. I started as a counseling intern here, and I got hired on last year, February 2016, as a full-time Bipp counselor, and I've been doing Bipp now for almost 3 years because I did start as an intern.
And your background is, which counseling discipline do you come from?
So I come from a clinical mental health counseling degree. Okay. So I have a master's in clinical mental health counseling.
Okay, awesome then. So Bipp, how many weeks, tell our audience, how many weeks is Bipp?
It is 30 weeks long, so we have orientation, where the clients get to come in and find out more about our program. They basically get to, it's kind of an outline of what the program's going to look like for them. Then we do an intake session, and that is where we kind of get to know their story, understand kind of what's going on with that particular client, and that's also where they choose which group they're going to go to. And then they're in group for 27 weeks for our psychoeducational courses that are done with the Bipp facilitators and counselors. And then they do an exit session, which is kind of an interview about their experience in the program. So it's 30 weeks total. 30
weeks total that we see them. Bipp is our only program that is a revenue generating program. So meaning all victim services are free of charge. And in the Batterers program, they do pay. Most of them, 95% are court orders.
Yes.
We just don't get a whole lot of people that volunteer. That may be shocking for our audience. We don't get a whole lot of people that come in and volunteer for the Bipp program. I guess, what do you see as some of the most, pervasive thoughts from those court-ordered offenders of domestic violence when they come in?
So when they come in, typically, again, most of them are not real excited to be here with us because they have been through the court system and been labeled as a batterer. And so oftentimes they may come in with their defenses up. And so hopefully through orientation and intake, we can kind of get them to a place where they feel like they can learn something from our program.
And what do you feel like are some of the, best outcome measures or the things that are the most prevalent that you see on the back end of it after people have completed the 30-week program?
Well, so really I think there are several things that I think Bipp is good at doing, and I think my most important, the thing that's most important for me is that if we are, so one abuser can potentially abuse 7 women in their lifetime, and so if we're helping one abuser, potentially we're helping 7 victims, preventing 7 victims, and so that is the most important aspect of Bipp for me. Also, I think we do know that people who experienced or witnessed domestic violence as children are more likely to perpetrate as adults. And so if we can stop that cycle, especially for those guys who are fathers in our program, if we can stop that cycle now, hopefully it won't continue in further generations.
But we know that the single cause of domestic violence is choice.
Yes.
Because we know that studies show that there could be 2 boys in the same family that both witnessed and experienced domestic violence growing up as a child, and one will choose to be abusive and the other will choose not to. And very much the program helps them to be able to address the power and control aspects of violence and to understand that's what their anticipated goal or desired goal is when they set about employing the strategy of defenses and behaviors in order to control and it's the purpose is to maintain control over someone else. They just use violence and different strategies to do that. If you are out there in our audience and you want to know more information about Bipp, feel free to go to our website, dcfof.org, or you want to reach out to someone on our staff. Absolutely, the program director is Hillary Hightower, And you can also contact Kara. She would love to answer your questions. So feel free to reach out to us through email or call us our office phone. Check out our website. It's brand new, up and running, so you do want to look at that. And if you know someone in your community or in your circle who needs help, either that is struggling with being abusive or is a victim of abuse, please feel free to give them our phone number, and we will do our very best to be of support and assistance to them. Hope you all have a very good and a safe weekend. Thank you, Kara, for coming in and talks with Tony, and we'll see you next weekend. Bye-bye.